So here we have Florida State in 2026. And honestly, this feels like one of the more interesting rebuilds I could have picked because even now, this is still a program that people expect a lot from. But the actual results lately just haven't matched that at all. Like, the expectation around Florida State still feels huge. But when you actually look at where this program's been recently, it still kind of feels like they're trying to figure out who they are again. So for this dynasty, I'm not really trying to overcomplicate things with a bunch of crazy rules or anything like that. I mainly just want to see how quickly we can actually turn this team into a contender again. And one thing I wanted to do differently with this series is I'm actually going to play every game this season. I'm not really trying to sim through half the schedule or anything like that. Now, obviously, not every game is going to get the exact same amount of focus because if we're playing some FCS team, I'm probably not going to spend 20 minutes on them. But I do want this rebuild to feel like we're actually going through the full season instead of skipping straight to the big moments. And honestly, looking at this schedule, we might figure out pretty quickly whether this team is actually close to competing again or not. Because right out of the gate, we've got Notre Dame at home, which is honestly kind of insane for a season opener. And I actually kind of like that because I feel like this game tells us a lot immediately. Gonna start the season off on defense. And I'm kind of okay with that. Gonna try to get settled back in on the controller. Notre Dame does actually have the higher rated team, but we're at home and we have some really good players on both sides of the ball. So I am expecting a close game from both teams. Right now we're going to see if we can get the ball to our offense. There's a stop for third down. A quick 3 and out would be a huge statement for our defense. Trying to get the crowd into this one. Looking over the middle, it's all covered up, but we leave the flat open, and they'll move the chains. Had a good shot to make a statement early, but couldn't stop them on third down, so it's 1st and 10 with a completion and a shed tackle finally brought down at the 47. You can tell this defense is still trying to get settled in. Michigan already crossed midfield at the 45. They'll hand it off here on 2nd down. Shedding a tackle to get the 1st down is Anais Williams. And now another 3rd down. Can Florida State get them off the field here? Trying to lock up everything. Coming out in the zone coverage. They do wrap him up. That's 4th and 5. Obviously, being the away team, this kick is not going to be easy. But it looks like Notre Dame's kicker is pretty good. Gonna have to get things going here from the 19-yard line, though. Not a great kick return. And on 1st down, we hand it off up the middle for a gain of 2. 2nd and 8 after nothing on 1st down. Quick pass out right to the tight end. That's Pittman Jr. Randy Pittman Jr., the senior tight end, making his first catch of the season. He made it a 3rd and 2. We hand it off, but he stopped for a loss. Well, after a terrible punt, we're at the 43-yard line. Notre Dame has a chance to go up by 2 possessions here, but that's a loss of 4. Looking for more of the same here on 2nd down. He hands this one off to the back. Williams is going to shed the first contact, but lose 4 more. So that backs them up to the 35 for this 3rd and 18. And we send pressure that gets to the quarterback. Harold brings him down for a sack. One thing I already feel like I want to change is the quarter length from 8 minutes to maybe 10 or 11. 8 just feels entirely too short. I only had 1 drive in the 1st quarter. But here on our 2nd drive, we are now at midfield. Puglisi dumping this one off to running back Bo Jackson. He'll get a 1st down. Big 3rd down for the 2nd drive of the game for Florida State. Trying to keep things going here. Looking for our number 1 receiver, but that ball was too far. So now we bring out the kicker for the first kick of the season. This is to tie things up here. I think I got the accuracy, but hopefully I had enough power, and he did. Defense was able to do a good job on the last drive. Forced a 3 and out and got the ball back to the offense. And now we're going to get this one to Boone. That's the freshman with the elite dev right there. I believe he is a route artist archetype with 90 speed. He's got a lot of potential. Looking across midfield on this play. Boone is wide open over the middle, and Puglisi saw him. I hope I'm saying our quarterback's name right. Puglisi, one of those has got to be it, right? I'm sure one of you will correct me down below. Here's Boone on the bubble. Jukes one man. That play took us into the 2-minute warning and also into the red zone for the first time this season. Looking out right for the tight end. There's Pittman on the catch. From inside the 10, we hand it off to Sawchuk. He'll get a first down at the 5. Notre Dame already used 2 of their timeouts, but it's 3rd and goal for Florida State. I've called a pass here from the 3. I think Puglisi has a chance, and that route got messed up, and I'll throw an interception. Just don't let it be a pick 6. Sawchuk, you have to catch him. Pushing him out of bounds, man. I can't believe it. I had a feeling I was going to throw an interception. I just hate that it was a red zone interception. And now Notre Dame has a chance to take the lead here before halftime. They only have 1 timeout, but at midfield just about. Here's a quick pass to number 1. Great catch. That was Jaden Greathouse on that catch on the previous play, but here on 2nd down and 7, looking over the middle, caught, and now inside the red zone. Notre Dame has silenced this crowd so far. Florida State trying to get their fans back into it. Their quarterback is in such a good rhythm right now. We have got to get him out of it. Send a blitz maybe. Get him off balance. And that does seem to work. Had to use that last timeout. 3rd and 10. Taking a shot to the end zone. And incomplete. Couldn't get a foot down. Thought that was a pretty good ball from Malik Murphy, but just out of reach for the receiver. And this kick just barely goes in. Honestly, this game kind of feels exactly like what I expected. There's moments where I feel like we look really good, and then there's other stretches where this kind of feels shaky, like that interception in the red zone, man. I couldn't have just ran the ball and then kicked the field goal on 4th down. I feel like I should run the ball more this half, but they're not really giving me looks that I like. But here's Boone with a pretty good look. He sheds first tackle and jukes out a couple of people. Really good play by the young wide receiver. That was the spark we needed right there. Now faking it to our back and one-on-one shot. Or that's actually double covered over there, but I'm going to take it anyway. He had a man beat. Boone has been missing since that incredible play. It's now 3rd and 10 for us. Kind of missing that spark he was bringing to us on the field. Puglisi looking for that next man up. Gonna take his shot to Boggs, and he hangs on to it. That was my last read that I made on that play, and a last-second throw. Lucky to get it to him and not be intercepted. It does appear that Boone has come back out on the field. We're gonna hand this one off, though, on 1st down. I'm sure they've taken notice of Boone's presence, so let's try to run a fake sweep to him, but they're all over our back. Notre Dame looking really solid this drive, bringing us up to another 3rd down situation. Got to get 12 yards to get this 1st down. And this is not a good throw at all into like quadruple coverage. Fortunate that that last drive just stalled out after a really good play by Boone. And now Notre Dame getting started here with 10. Just cross midfield. It's 2nd down and inches. Quick pass on the right side. That's caught. Malik Murphy has looked really good today, except for when we have sent pressure. We do that here, but he hands it off, and they only get a gain of 2. You know they would like to burn some more clock here. 3rd quarter is winding down. They hand it off for a 3rd straight play, and it's brought down immediately. I'm really glad the defense is playing as well as it is, but our offense has got to step it up here, especially in the 4th quarter. We have got to take some pressure off this defense. There's Boone with a big play down the sideline. He's going to go in untouched and get the first touchdown of the season for the Seminoles. What do y'all think about this freshman in his first game with the team? Able to just blaze his way down the field. He only has 90 speed and 86 acceleration, but he looked good right there. Doesn't look like that's going to hinder him at all. Both teams have looked pretty solid through the air, but on the ground, there's just nothing to be had. Big loss of 5 backs them up to the 6-yard line. You know, we want to send some more pressure at them. Here's a quick pass and thankfully brought down. That could have been a big play. Senior safety Earl Little able to bring him down there. And now 3rd and 17 from the 4. No pressure. They back off on defense this time. Bump from Sammy Brown. No call, and he's going to miss the tackle, but their quarterback just gives himself up. Because of all the lost yards, their punter did not have much room to pin us deep, and we're going to hand it off to Bo Jackson for one of the first times today. There's a good gain on the ground finally. That is exactly what I want to see here with us up by 4. Might be a bit of a move here to go with the play action. We get to the 20. I didn't know what kind of move to call that because I am a bit traumatized from the interception I threw in the red zone last time. But we have Bo Jackson. A switch has been made in the backfield. Bo Jackson is now the RB1 for the rest of this game at least. And trying to run some RPO, but gonna take our first sack there. Puglisi and a few other players are a bit banged up right now. The 2nd down and 15 play. We're gonna see if we can get some good bumps, and we do. Perry is gonna get the first down. A false start backs us up to the 7 for the 2nd down and goal play. Gonna hand it off to Bo Jackson. Right up the middle he goes. Another tough 3rd down here from the 5. Puglisi is going to dump it off to Bo Jackson on the screen, who had perfect blocking. And we extend our lead over number 5 Notre Dame. Under 3 minutes to go in this game, up by 2 possessions here. Florida State is looking good here at home. Got to prepare for the 2-week road games ahead though, versus teams like Alabama. I do think we'll be including that in this video. Notre Dame on 2nd down and 1. Gonna get this one to the running back. He's gonna go across the 30. That formation wasn't working out too well for Florida State. They come out in one that has looked pretty good for them here, but here's a good broken tackle from the tight end. Able to get him across midfield with that play. Coming up close on the 2-minute warning, and that pass is going to be out of reach of everyone. Tevin Rector has checked into the game for a player that was pretty banged up. He's a freshman, but he is a freshman with elite dev, I am pretty sure. So I want to get him some reps in where we can. Maybe see what he looks like when I'm not using him terribly. 1 minute and a half to go here for Notre Dame, trying to get their first touchdown. Pretty successful through the air right now. Malik Murphy from the 20-yard line. He's going to dump this one off really quickly over the middle and now inside the 10. Wild pass from Murphy on 2nd down brings up a 3rd and goal for Notre Dame. I do think this game is pretty much out of reach unless they do get a onside kick after this touchdown. I did expect them to get it there because I wasn't paying enough attention. Cannot believe I just let my zone up like that, but that's the way of the road here with live commentary sometimes. And now they're gonna get the 2-point conversion. Good play. 2 timeouts, gotta go for the onside kick. It's a good one, but Fryer is able to get his hands on it and not fumble it, thankfully. And now they are missing 1 timeout, so Bo Jackson can get this handoff and end this game in 1 carry. He has looked really good, and I think we have our number 1 running back solidified. Now, he's only carried the ball 5 times, but those 5 carries have looked better than every other carry that Sawchuk attempted. Look, here is another first down carry for Bo Jackson. We might have something really special with this offense. We've got a pretty accurate quarterback. He's an 85 overall. Bo Jackson took over this game on the ground. And we also can't forget about our freshman wide receiver with elite dev. Aaron Boone looked really, really good. And he does get player of the game. 6 catches, 131 yards, and a score. in his debut. That's honestly a really good win, especially this early in the rebuild. I think that tells us a lot. I still don't think this team is anywhere close to finished yet, but there's definitely more potential here than I expected. And honestly, if Florida State can compete with teams like this already, then this rebuild might not take as long as I originally thought. See, Gavin Sawchuk and Bo Jackson did split carries, and there is a huge difference in their game. Alright, so after beating Notre Dame, we now have an even bigger giant in Alabama, who still has Ryan Williams, of course. Behind him is another wide receiver who is about just as fast. They have DJ McKinney, who is a really good cornerback. Now, this defense does have some good players, don't get me wrong, but there are a few positions that aren't as star-studded as I'm used to seeing from Alabama. They do have a good linebacker here with 90 speed, and their cornerbacks are their probably strongest position group. Facing a team like this with as much history as they have in their own stadium is always not an easy feat. But I do think we have the talent to get the job done today here on the road. It's gonna take a perfect game for us. I don't think we can have any red zone turnovers. That could be what breaks us. We can't have anything like that happening in this game. I did keep the 8-minute quarters. I wanted to see what you guys thought about that first before I made any changes to the settings. So 8 minutes will be what we use for the remainder of this video. Last week, Keelan Russell had himself a day with 5 touchdowns, nearly 300 yards passing. And now on first down, his first pass is caught. I won't lie, I hesitated. I thought that was dropped, but sure hands from the receiver. On first down, there's Sammy Brown with the big tackle. That's going to force a 3rd down and 5 here for the Crimson Tide. Quickly, that was my area, man. I've got to do better. I went cross-eyed looking at 2 different receivers right there and just ran right up the middle. Gain of 6, 2nd down and 4 here. Keelan Russell's got it complete to his tight end. Another catch. No surprise they're 3-0. They look very, very competent right now. Doesn't look like they have any weaknesses on this offense. There's a good rush from the defensive tackle, but another catch for their tight end. He's just too good. I don't think it matters who we put on him, a linebacker or a cornerback. He's going to burn whoever it is, it looks like. Now, this pass is also caught. Keelan Russell's getting bailed out. That was running back Wayne Knight with a really good diving catch. 2nd down and 1, they fake the handoff. And Keelan Russell has a man wide open in the end zone. Florida State's defense just got picked apart on the first drive for the Crimson Tide. Puglisi is in a really tough environment, but Bo Jackson is going to try and help him out. Not able to do it there. So really quick 3 and out for the Florida State offense, and Alabama has the chance to go up by 2 possessions. They'll hand it off right up the middle, gain of 3. Wayne Knight looks really agile. Do not want to let him get going and do whatever he wants. Taking a deep shot on 2nd down. This one's going to be caught. Kai Bates on the coverage on the last play. He got absolutely burned. We have got to figure out something to do about Keelan Russell here. He is 9 for 9 right now. Can we get his first incompletion? No, he's going to just run it and break the tackles. Keelan Russell in the end zone. I can't even be upset about it. That was an impressive run. This drive is really important. We cannot go down 3 possessions with no points at all on our side. Trying to get Bo Jackson going here any way we can, through the air if we have to. He'll get a first down. It is still really early in this game. No need to panic. We're down by 2 possessions, but we have a decent offense. We can get some things going here. Just hand it to Bo Jackson and see what happens. That was his best carry of the day. 5 yards on first down. Now we'll run some play action here. Our tight end got wide open. There's Pittman Jr. going down to the left side all the way up to the 39. That was exactly what we needed to quiet this crowd down. We can see our play art now. On first down, we hand off to Bo Jackson. He's got some good moves up to the 25. Once you light that fire, it's hard to put it out. Bo Jackson, 4 carries, 20 yards, excuse me. Here's Puglisi on the move. He only has 75 speed, but sometimes you got to bust it out. 5 minutes to go here in this game. Aaron Boone gets open. He hangs on through the contact inside the 10 now. 3rd and goal from the 9. We can kick a field goal here. I wouldn't feel too bad about it, but I obviously want a touchdown. There's Boone in the end zone with it, but that's broken up. That man finally threw an incompletion. It's 2nd down and 10 now. And I'm going to try my best to lock everything up over here in the middle, and we get a sack on Russell now. But anyway, it is 3rd down and 16. Russell is going to take a shot one-on-one for Ryan Williams, and that is somehow ruled incomplete. I thought that was 6. And there's no review. How about that? Let's rock and roll. Come on. Block that kick. You can do it. And it doesn't even matter. They're going to miss it, and we have a chance to cut into that lead. 14 seconds remain here in the first half. We are at midfield, trying to get in field goal range here. Puglisi does get this one complete there on the right side. We'll use our final timeout. This is going to be a 51-yarder. We only have 81 kick power, so I'm going to have to angle this one as best I can. No interference from the crowd. This kick will sneak right through, thankfully. I really thought that was about to hit the upright. So going into halftime, no touchdowns from Florida State. But I'm happy that we're not down by so much. 6-14 isn't such a bad score when you think about it, where we are and everything. Just need to get some stuff going through the air, man. We have completed most of our passes, but they have not been very long passes, if you know what I mean. Looks like the crowd has settled back in here a bit to start the second half. We hand it off to Bo Jackson to start this half. He'll get 8. He's going to be a really big key player for us in the future. I can see it now. Out right for our tight end, Randy Pittman. He gets knocked out of bounds, but not before getting a first down. Bo is going to do both things and put the team on his back, whether it's on the ground or through the air. We got to get him involved. But on this play, how about we go to our number 1 receiver for the first time today. Only 1 catch last week for him, and that was his first today as well. Probably want to get him more involved in the future. Here's a good run by Bo. Going to try and give him a bit of a rest here. Call some... Oh, man, I messed up. That was our tight end on the very good catch and run. Up inside the red zone now at the 19. Bo Jackson remains in the game right now. He is a bit tired, though. So let's get Sawchuk back in. Puglisi is going to fake it to Bo. Heavily pressured, we get it to the backup tight end, who gets a lot after the catch. If we get the touchdown here, I do think I want to go for 2. Sawchuk is in. Don't think I'm going to run it with him. And we do pass it. Boggs was wide open on the RPO. I kind of wanted to give it to Bo Jackson. He did very good on that drive. But I'll take cutting into Alabama's lead. We have a chance to tie it up here with a 2-point conversion. For this 2-point play, I really wish I had Bo Jackson out here, man. But he is banged up. His hip is bothering him right now. So I am going to pass it. Looking for Gibson, but he's not really there. How about the tight end? He hangs on to it. Perfect throw from Puglisi in the middle of the field. From the 30. Russell keeps it this time. Gonna be sacked by Sammy Brown on the blitz. Florida State's second of the day. That was exactly what we needed there. Get them some loss of yardage. Try to get them out of field goal range if we can. Coach thought we should blitz, but when they go 5 wide, I don't think it's a great idea. This one's going to be broken up. Great play there in coverage. That was strong safety KJ Kirkland. Believe he is a senior. That brings up a long field goal here, but Alabama's going to get this one for sure. That was another case of me not being able to see my icon. Here for first down and 10. Alabama's first play of this drive is going to be a good one. Now 2nd down and 5. Keelan Russell brings a man in motion to his right. That's going to be a good idea to get some mixed match coverage, and that is exactly what happened. I feel like I made a mistake. I've been calling the wrong person Ryan Williams this whole time, potentially. I'll have to double check that in the editing. Here's a sack for Florida State. Big time play there. And now it's 3rd and 14. If we can force another field goal here, that would be huge. And that's broken. Oh, very lucky that wasn't a touchdown. I've got to block one of these eventually. Thomas coming off that right side is not going to get it this time. Less than 3.5 minutes to go in this one. We have a chance to go up by a point here. Quick pass to Pittman Jr. He's going to go out of bounds. Turbo Richards still in the game. No Bo Jackson. We're going to look Turbo's way this time. He's got some blocks in front of him, just not the speed to get out in front. For 4th down and 1, we've brought Bo Jackson into the game. His hip is still bothering him, but we brought out the jumbo package. We're in the goal line, and Alabama blows it up. That was defensive tackle Kelby Collins. We called him out earlier, and he has made big plays several times today. That was about his 3rd or 4th. And that carry by Wayne Knight all but seals Alabama's victory here, saving the timeouts for just the moment. I want to see if we can get a stop here first, and we do. Let's use one. Now 3rd down and 3 from the 37. We hold them to a field goal here. If they miss, we still have a chance, but that dude's going to get wide open for Alabama, and this game is over. That's if we can't get a turnover on this play, but he's just going to waltz right into the end zone untouched, and Alabama is going to win their 4th game of the season, and this is probably their biggest win so far. But we do drop our first game of this series. I was going to say episode, but this series we do drop to Alabama for our first loss. And now at 1-1, we're going to be heading into more hostile territory. We're going to have one more final game for this episode. I thought Keelan Russell looked phenomenal. At one point, I do think he was 12 for 12. Wayne Knight, not an efficient day, but he got the job done when it was asked of him. A.K. Deere got a touchdown on the ground just like Keelan Russell. I'm sure you've noticed at this point that I have 102 coach points, and I'm not entirely sure why. I thought I turned pre-order bonus off, but I'm not really sure if I want to spend those. I mean, I'm already level 24 or 23 to start this series off after simming through 2025. Which is weird because I did that. I simmed through 2025 and did not have the 100 pre-order bonus points. But all of a sudden here in 2026, it was like, here you go. But as of now, I'm not going to use those points. I'll leave it up to you guys whether or not I can. So now we head into our ACC opener against Louisville, and honestly this feels like a really important game already, because after losing to Alabama, I think the biggest thing now is just figuring out whether this team can respond after a loss like that. And Louisville being 2-0 already makes this even more interesting because this is another road game against a ranked team. I think Florida State's shown enough through the first couple of games to feel pretty encouraged overall, but now it's about consistency. I want to get players like Aaron Boone going like we did in that first game where he looked electric, and then we head into Tuscaloosa where he didn't look all that great, honestly, but I mean, what can you expect from a freshman? Bo Jackson with 14 carries, he has 88 yards. I would like to get a better average than 44 per game, but his average per carry is really good right now at 6.3. Right away, seeing Avery Johnson for Louisville is impressive. They have an elite quarterback with some mobility and a decent running back with Duke Watson. He's got 93 speed, but this team is only a 79 overall. I do think we have better talent across the board, but they have a few names on their team that I recognize, like Chauncey Bowens. I don't think he'll make much of an impact being the second running back, but there's a chance. This game is honestly really important. We need a bounce back win after the loss in Tuscaloosa. But it's not going to be easy. Another road game, of course, and also going to be a rainy day. So passing, which has been kind of my go-to this season, it's not going to be easy today. Louisville's first carry goes for a gain of 3, and now on second down they'll go right back to that well, and he doesn't do anything. Now for third down and 7, we're in cover 4. Not going to try and do anything crazy here. Just going to try to cover up everything over the middle, and the pressure gets to Avery Johnson. I got exactly what I wanted out of our defense, and now our offense has to execute. On first down, Pittman's going to drop this one. Like I said, it's going to be a hard game for us. We're on the road and it's raining. Not going to make every catch look really easy. Bo Jackson able to get us 8 right there on the ground. And now for third down and 2. Going to look to call his number once more here, and he will convert for us. Crowd doing a good job here, giving me some squiggly lines, but Puglisi showed that he can do pretty well under certain conditions like that. I consider having over a 50% completion percentage in Tuscaloosa a pretty good feat, especially for your second game with the team. Now here we go on second down and 8 to Pittman Jr. on that left side. He sheds 2 tackles for the first down. Puglisi to the air, gonna dump this one off to Bo Jackson on the screen, who jukes back inside, shedding the tackle, and then pushed out of bounds. Third down and 4 here in the red zone. I think we got a good shot over the middle here to Boone, but it didn't look like he got open. We go to our number 1 receiver, though, and Perry hangs on. Perry's first catch of the game, bringing us to the 1-yard line for the quick touchdown pass to Boggs. And we take the first lead of the game for our conference opener. From the 13 here, gonna fake this one to the back and get it to his receiver. Sheds the first tackle. Avery Johnson, 3 of 3 so far. He's gonna hand this one off, sweeping left and brought down quickly. Big loss of 4. Is going to make this third down and 7. Avery Johnson to the air. Has a man wide open. The cover 2 is beat yet again. Now for second down and 12. They'll run a screen out left, and this gets blown up. Another loss. So for third down and 16, what is the 94 overall quarterback going to whip up here? Florida State sends pressure. Turns out to be a horrible idea because they get a little bit more than they needed for the first down. Yep, nothing over the middle there for the defense, and they get an easy conversion. Lots of pressure in Johnson's face, but he's a good quarterback. Avery Johnson's looked good on this drive. Cardinals looking to get their first points of the game. Maybe not on this play. Third down and 7 over the middle. That one's caught and immediately met, thankfully brought down quickly. I was kind of content with just going into halftime with this lead, but now that we're approaching midfield like this, why not try to go for at least a field goal? Go up by 6 or 7, I mean. Here we go to the air. Has a man wide open. That's Bo Jackson speeding out to the sideline. Able to keep 2 timeouts. That's very crucial here. Has a man wide open there on the left side, and he stays in bounds, unfortunately. But hey, that was an incredible throw by Puglisi in the rain. Really wish I could have kept my second timeout, though. Maybe we can get something good going here. Puglisi on the move. We don't see that normally. With 4 seconds left, I think we got one chance here. I like this play a lot. Our number 1 receiver, Perry, is able to do it for us. Alex Perry gets his first touchdown of the season, and we extend our lead by 2 touchdowns. Bit of a gutsy call with 4 seconds remaining there, but I thought we had a chance for one more play at least. And Alex Perry able to deliver. And look at that throw as he's getting hit on the money. And what's awesome is Ryan Puglisi is only a sophomore, a 4-star transfer portal quarterback. Could see him develop very well for us. Could see him being a second, maybe a first-round pick depending on how well we play. But once again, no rushing yards. That's 3 games where the rushing game is just not there. Maybe I need to tweak the sliders a bit. But let me know what you guys think about the set so far. There's a lot of passing. I think I do want a little bit more ground game. Maybe a little bit more time between quarters will help that. I think that's what's messing that up. 3rd and 3. The Cardinals keep it on the ground, and he's met. Marquise Lightfoot and company bring him down. Holding them to a field goal here is pretty crucial. Was not going to be happy to give up a touchdown quickly in this game. Or in the second half, I mean. Big 3rd down here in the 3rd quarter. Motioning Bo Jackson across. Going to look for Boone over the middle. This is a perfect pass to him. Speeding away from his man and getting out of bounds. Play clock winding down here. Can Puglisi get the snap off? He does. Looking out the backfield for Turbo Richard. He hangs on and goes out of bounds after a short gain. At the 35 here, I don't see a point in punting. Either kick the field goal or go for it, honestly. So we're going to go for it. In the rain, 4th and 4. Looking for Bo Jackson. He's not going to hang on through contact. Can't blame him all too much. That was a good play by the defense. Down by 8. They're going to run an option here for Avery Johnson and lose 3. 3rd down and 9. They'll snap the ball right before the quarter ends. Has a man falling down over the middle. He gets it out to the left and out of bounds, but not before he does pick up the 1st down. Yeah, we're still searching for that first turnover. Can we get it on this drive? It'd be huge. On the ground, nope, but it is a loss. Spreading us out here 5 wide, not really able to blitz, I don't think. Sammy Brown over the middle, got everything locked up. Avery Johnson throws on the run and broken up last second. They're punting from the 35-yard line. Very interesting decision here. This kick is going to touch at about the 4-yard line and go out the back of the end zone, thankfully. Only a gain of 2 on 2nd down makes it 3rd and 5 here. Big 3rd down, up by 8 right now, wanting to keep this drive alive. Want to take their timeouts. Pittman Jr. gets open, and he is tackled. There is their first timeout. Randy Pittman Jr. Very, very efficient tight end so far this season for us. Now Puglisi out to the right side for Sawchuk, and he's met behind the line. I'm pretty sure Sawchuk has more speed and acceleration than Bo Jackson. Haven't really felt it yet. Yet another 3rd down here for the Seminoles. 3rd and short, though. Puglisi has been pretty efficient today, looking for his number 1 tight end, and that time they're all over him. This time I'm trusting the defense here. Can I get that out the back? Oh, no way! I did! 2nd and 10, handing this one off deep in the end zone. He's met, and this will be a safety. Florida State is technically getting their first turnover as a safety, I would say. I'm pretty sure that counts as a turnover. Correct me if I'm wrong. No interceptions or fumbles yet, but I'll take a safety, I guess. That safety, of course, did give us a 10-point lead. We were able to knee it out and pick up our 2nd win of the season over a top 25 opponent. Now imagine if we squeeze one out over Alabama. We could easily be 3-0 right now, but I like the progress we've made. And that sets us up pretty well for the Clemson game. Going in 2-1, I believe that will be a home game. Puglisi, very efficient, 23 of 29, less than 200 yards though. 2 touchdowns, no picks. Very good day, I'd say. But Aaron Boone led the way with 8 and 61. Behind him was Randy Pittman, 53 on 5 receptions. And of course, Perry and Boggs got the scores. Honestly, I feel pretty good about where this team's at through the first few games. I don't think Florida State's fully back or anything like that yet, but compared to where I expected this rebuild to start, there's definitely been a lot more good than bad, so can't really complain. However, I would like to see us score more than 17 points. I want to cross 20 at some point. But now Clemson's next, and that feels like the game that probably tells us where this rebuild actually stands right now. because if Florida State can keep competing with teams like this consistently, then this rebuild might end up moving a lot faster than I thought. So if you guys enjoyed the start of this series and want to see where this thing goes from here, definitely stick around because I've got a lot more planned with this dynasty. And if you're new to the channel too, there's already a bunch of other rebuilds and college football stuff on here if you want more videos to watch while waiting for the next episode. But yeah, Clemson's up next, and I feel like this game's going to tell us a lot about where this series is going to go. I'm going to get a recruiting update for y'all in the next video. Not much to be said right now, still trying to figure out some things. I will give you a little bit of a teaser though. We're going after one of the top receivers, and it's going well so far. Don't have the best hard sell for him, nor do we have the best pipeline, and Alabama now setting up a week 13 visit. Definitely think I'm going to schedule him to visit here against Memphis. I'll have all that figured out before this game. Actually, I'll have all that figured out before this game against Clemson, but there is actually one more thing. I do have a few visits scheduled here in this Clemson game. 2 5-stars will be coming over. It's going to be close for all these guys, but with these visits lined up the way they are, there's a good chance we might be able to scoop at least 1 or 2 of them. But that's gonna do it for this one, guys. If you did enjoy, please don't forget to leave a like and subscribe for more content. I'll catch you guys next time. Peace.